Hello guys, this is Devika and today this is day 6 of learning English fluency consistently. So for today we are going to talk about a short story which is Leo Tolstoy's short story. The name of the short story which is Where Lovers Dare Goddess. Okay, this is the name of the short story. So let's get into the introduction. Where Lovers Dare Goddess. Sometimes also translated as Where Lovers Dare Goddess also or Martin Cobbler. This will be the name of the short story. This is a short story by Russian author Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy is a Russian author. Okay. So in English translation of this short story as translated by Nandan Haskell Dole uses the alternative title translation of Where Love is That God is Also. It was published in United States. Okay, this is the introduction of this short story. So let's get into the content, which is Martin the Cobbler. Martin the Cobbler. Martin Abdish was a cobbler. Cobbler means someone who repairs shoes, like that. He made perfect shoes. Okay. And all the people in the city were his customers. Martin will made perfect shoes, and the many people will be his customers. Like that, he is prioritizing his work, and he was punctual in his work. And his wife had died, leaving a 3-year-old boy. Okay, Martin's wife has died, leaving a 3-year-old boy. Okay, so Martin have a boy, but his wife left him. Okay, so next point is the boy suffered from fever and died. Okay, the boy also suffered from fever and died. Vexed, Martin stopped going to the church. So because of that, the wife and child were dead. He decided to stop going to the church. Okay. So one day, an old fellow countryman from the Trinity Monastery called Martin. Yeah, on a random day, some stranger called Martin from Trinity Monastery, which is Trinity Monastery means, first of all, a religious place. Okay, where monks lives. Monks means someone who lives in the who lives life simply, like church father, like that. They lives for God. So that is monks. Trinity Monastery means where they lives, monks lives. Okay. So he talked God's judgment and advised Martin not to despair but to live for God. Like this, he advised Martin not to despair but you want to live for God. Like that, he said something. So he also told Martin to read the Gospels, not gospel. Gospels means like Bible or something like that. And after that, another subheading which is change in Martin. Okay, so let's read that. Martin bought the New Testament. Testament means Bible. Martin bought the New Testament and began to read it every day. And his soul became contented. He stopped going to the tavern. Tavern means some bar like that, where people will drink, something like that. He stopped going to the tavern to celebrate the holidays. Okay, so after reading those Bibles, he stopped going to the tavern, and his life became peaceful and joyful. One day, when he was observed in reading, he heard someone telling him to look into the street the next day and he would come. So here on a random day when Martin was reading when Martin was reading the Bible, he heard someone whispered, like the content will be, if you look into the street the next day, I will come. Like that he heard. So he was clueless. He don't know about what is that thing, and but he waited for that. So let's see. The next morning. So this subheadings will be Martin and Stepnich. Yeah, here Stepnich means a poor street sweeper. Street sweeper means road cleaning, like that doing. And the next morning, Martin sat and worked, but looked out of the window now and then. Yeah, here he notified that, specified that Martin looked out of the window now and then, because as he heard like whispered voice, so he searched for that. Okay, so and then he saw Stepnich was cleaning away the snow from his window, and Stepnich was elderly and broken. Yeah, he is because he is an old man, so he is elderly and broken. He did not have a strength. He did not have the strength to clean the snow. So Martin called him into his room and offered him food. The old man had not enough strength to clean the snow, so Martin called him and give some food to eat. Okay, so Stepnich took them and thanked Martin for satisfying his body and soul. Stepnich thanked Martin to offering food for him. Okay, so the next topic will be the women with the baby. After Stepnich had left, Martin saw a woman with a baby. The baby was crying. Martin called the woman in. The woman was not eaten since morning. So, since the women had not eaten from the morning, he offered the cabbage soup and bread to her. So the woman had pawned her lost shawl for 20 kopecks, which means the woman had a shawl which is used to wear around shoulders, like to be warm in Russia usually. So that is the lost shawl that she had, and he pawned it, because pawned means an exchange something for money. He exchanged the shawl for back. She got the money, which is 20 kopecks. Kopecks means money. He had pawned her lost shawl for 20 kopecks. And Martin gave her an old overcoat and 20 kopecks to buy back her shawl. So to help the woman, Martin gave her an old overcoat of him and 20 kopecks to buy back the shawl. So, okay. The next topic will be the market women incident. So this is the third incident. First incident will be the Stepnich, which is who's an old street sweeper. The third person will be the woman with the baby. Second person will be the women with the baby. The third person is market women incident. Okay, so this is the third incident. Then Martin saw an old market woman. She put the basket of apple on the footpath and wanted to move back to her other shop. Okay, so a market woman, which is a seller woman, had a basket of apple. She had pain on her shoulder, so she placed on the footpath and wanted to move back to her other shoulder. So at that time, an urchin means a poor boy. An urchin grabbed an apple and wanted to slip away. So when she tried to move the basket to the another shoulder, a old poor boy grabbed the apple of the woman and wanted to slip away. And suddenly the woman caught hold of him and scolding him a lot. So in that time, Martin went out of his shop and told the woman to let go of the boy and forgive him. And he could pay for the apple, and then he asked the boy to ask for forgiveness. Martin went out from his shop and told the woman to left him because he's a poor child. So he asked for let him know, and also Martin asked the boy to ask for forgiveness. Okay, so conclusion. After they had gone, Martin returned to his room and began to read the Gospels. He heard something. A voice whispered if Martin did not recognize him, there Strapnich, the woman with the baby, and old woman, and the boy appeared one after another and disappeared. Martin read from Matthew. As you did it to one of the least of their my breath, you did it to me. His Savior came to him on that day. So here, what he is saying in this conclusion is, after they had gone, after the old lady and the boy and the poor boy had gone, he returned to he returned to his room and started to read the gospel, which is Bible. So on that time, he heard something voice, like whispered, like he had heard on that time, on the before day. Like that, he also heard some voice for now, which is saying, "Did you not recognize me?" Like that, some voice whispered. So he suddenly, when he see the all the people that had appeared on his life on that day, which is first Stepnich, and the second the women with the baby, and the old women with the boy. All of the three situation will appear on before him, and he smiled at him, and after that they disappeared. So after seeing that, Martin got recognized that this is his Savior, which is Jesus. This is his God. Like that, he got recognized that, and the gun. And when Martin read from Matthew, as you did it to one of the least of their my brethren, you did it to me. This is what the meaning will be. If you help the needy poor people, you are helping the God. That is the meaning of the line. So as soon as he read this from the Matthew, he came to know that he is that he met his Savior on that day. instead of seeing the Jesus view, he got to see in the poor needy people's form. That is the moral of the story. We want to help the poor and needy people. So that means we are helping the God. So that is the moral of the story. If you have time to know something about this short story, just search for this topic, which is where lovers their goddess. This topic in ChatGPT or something YouTube or something somewhere Google, like that you can search and you can know about more about this short story or something like this, any other short story. If you want to learn or improve your English fluency, you can do this. You should do this. This will help you. And also by reading books. Yeah, this is not which is written in the book. This is the content that I have read in my college days. So I liked these short stories and the poetry stories so much. So that I am sharing this with you. So if you also love to read some stories or some poetries, you can do that to practice your English fluency. So that's all for today. I am just winding up in this. Okay, bye.